Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Friday, August 23rd, 2019. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. St. Kitts and Nevis has been praised for its expanded program on immunization. The commendation comes from officials from the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Currently, we're doing an assessment of the expanded program on immunization. So this was a request that the Ministry of Health made to PAHO. And the ministry is concerned, because we are aware that communicable diseases, particularly those related to immunization, is very key in the countries, especially in islands that we know is easily can have a breakout because of tourism, etc. So the ministry wanted to have a quick view of how their expanded program on immunization is working. So with that, we came here since Monday, and we have been visiting several health facilities.
Dr. Darlene Omir-Taylor is the Family and Community Health Advisor for PAHO, while Dr. Karen Lewis-Bell is the organization's Decentralized Regional Advisor for Immunization.
And it really is to see how well St. Kitts and Nevis is doing with respect to implementing the expanded program on immunization, and to find out if there are any areas that may need strengthening or areas that we could make recommendations for improvement. So the methodology that we use is really just to visit health facilities. We examined their cold chain, meaning their refrigerator, their vaccine carriers for when they're administering vaccines. We also looked at their documentation, how well they record, the accuracy of the recording, how well the recording matches what they have in their various registers and books.
She noted that St. Kitts and Nevis is one of the few countries in the English-speaking Caribbean which is using an electronic immunization registry.
We also looked at the electronic immunization registry and looked at the concordance, or how well the data matched in that registry what they have on the paper-based system. We also observed vaccination in process just to ensure that the right techniques were being used, the appropriate guidance and communication is given to the parents, and that sort of thing. And just a little synopsis, we think that St. Kitts and Nevis is doing quite well. We were quite impressed with the level of documentation, the accuracy, how the vaccines are stored in the refrigerator, because vaccines are medicines that are required to be stored within a very finite range of temperature. And so the way the vaccines are stored in the refrigerator are quite impressive. The documentation is really very good. The process of vaccination, from what we observed, it is very clear that the health staff in St. Kitts and Nevis are quite knowledgeable, are technically sound, they know what they're doing it appropriately.
The goal of the expanded program on immunization is to make immunization against diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, poliomyelitis, measles, and tuberculosis available to every child. The following is a public notice from the Ministry of Tourism regarding taxi IDs and vehicle permits. The Ministry of Tourism advises all bona fide taxi operators on the island of Nevis that new taxi IDs and vehicle permits are available for collection effective Monday, August 26, 2019. They can be collected from the Ministry of Tourism on the first floor of the Social Security Building. A copy of the taxi operator's vehicle registration document must be presented at the time of collection. The notice warns that it is an offense for any person to operate a taxi or tour bus in a prescribed area without a valid permit issued by the Ministry of Tourism. For further assistance, contact the Ministry of Tourism at 469-5521 extension 6444 or 6442. In more local news,
on Monday, August 26, 2019, we are welcoming all of our teachers, our staff members, our custodians, our school meals personnel. All staff members under the Ministry of Education are invited to the Back to School Convocation.
1 week ahead of the reopening of schools, the Department of Education will host its annual exercise for professionals in the field of education. The event will take place at the Nevis Performing Arts Center.
We are all enthused because this year we are focused on the theme Know Your Students. The Know Your Students sub-theme comes from our sector plan, our sector plan theme, which is education for all, embracing change, securing the future. And that's exactly what we want our teachers to continue to do. We want to take this opportunity from the onset to thank our teachers, our coaches, all personnel at the schools, and including our bus drivers as well, our crossing guards, our security officers. We want to thank you for all the work that you have done thus far, and we want to continue to energize you for the new school year.
The back-to-school convocation is scheduled to commence at 9:15 a.m.
Our registration starts at 8:15, and we're expecting everyone to be seated by 9 a.m. We really want a prompt start. As I said, I know that all the teachers are so enthused. They'll be there by 8:15. We know that all our coaches will probably be there by 8:10, and we know our crossing guards, because of habit, will be there by 7:30. Our cooks might be there by 6, but we want everyone to be seated by 9 o'clock. We also have built in the curriculum enhancement process. We know that we're reviewing our curriculum. We started the process in January, and so we wanted to give the teachers an opportunity to get an update to see where we are. The summer has been spent writing some of the grade levels. Some of the grade levels are already completed, at least in draft, and so we want to let the teachers know where we are, and of course, from the onset, set the tone for what we expect of them.
The keynote speaker will be Dr. Monica Williams of Mind Bloom Consulting, who has been contracted to work on the OEC's education sector strategy.
Those of us who have been integral in the curriculum enhancement process know Dr. Williams very well. She focuses on, of course, she has a wealth of experience and her background is very vast, but her specialization is special education. And so inclusion is part of our curriculum enhancement process. And special education, of course, some people think automatically those children who are disabled in some way. However, special education has two ends of the spectrum. You actually have your gifted and talented students who are extremely intelligent and need special attention. And then, of course, you have those who might have some form of a disability and need some extra support as well. And so we are trying to get all students captured under the curriculum enhancement, and we're starting the process in full force on August 26th.
Principal Education Officer Zanella Claxton. Still to come.
To bring a donation, and we're asking you to drop it into the donation box, and we will give the money to Mrs.
The details after this break.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.
Welcome back. As the Department of Education prepares to host its back-to-school convocation on Monday, August 26th, it is soliciting the assistance of the island's teaching fraternity on behalf of a colleague. Principal Education Officer Zanella Claxton explains.
Prior to the start of the event, during the registration process, a donation box for one of our team members, Mrs. Tamisia Lestrade. Of course, we know that she has several medical expenses, and we are attempting to help her to defray costs. And as members of a team, we support our team members when they're not doing as well as they usually do. And so we're encouraging all teachers, all coaches, all staff members who come on out, who are present at NEPAC on Monday, to bring a donation, and we're asking you to drop it into the donation box, and we will give the money to Mrs. Lestrade sometime following the event. As we said, together in everything, that's our pillar. We want to make sure that no matter what, that we're in this together.
Principal Education Officer Zanella Claxton. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris met with representatives of the Republic Financial Holdings Limited on Tuesday, August 20th, when he was assured of the institution's interests and commitment to working with the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis after it acquires the Scotiabank branch in the Federation. The Trinidad-based Republic Financial Holdings Limited announced in November of 2018 that it had entered into an agreement to acquire Scotiabank's banking operations in St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Representing the Republic Bank at Tuesday's meeting was its Managing Director Nigel Baptiste and Principal Advisor at Advice Financial Company Limited, Ian D'Souza. The Prime Minister was supported by Deputy Financial Secretary Sylvia Gums and Chief Executive Officer of the Citizenship by Investment Unit, Les Can. Baptiste gave the assurance that there will be no displacement of Scotiabank's staff after the transaction is completed. He said all of the bank's current staff will be welcomed into the Republic Group. He indicated that the Republic Bank is presently in the process of acquiring the regulatory approvals, which it hopes should be completed by the end of September 2019. Baptiste described the meeting with Prime Minister Harris as very cordial and positive and noted that he understands the main concern is the willingness of the Republic Bank to support the drivers of the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis, the most important of which is the Citizenship by Investment Initiative. He said while more information is required to understand it a bit more, the bank is certainly open to support it because that is crucial to the success of the economy. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.
Taxes are the lifeblood of a nation. Feel good about what your tax dollars do in Nevis. As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars protect our environment. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.